All right, guys, welcome to my educational series. This is essentially going to be something I'm going to be doing, hopefully with uploads daily, just covering a bunch of different fitness topics. My name's Braden, or on all the other social media platforms, Monster Murray, whether it be Twitter, TikTok, Instagram. You can find me on all those platforms. Please reach out, ask questions. As well, I am a lifestyle health and wellness coach, as well as help with competitive bodybuilding, and I'm certified by Precision Nutrition, doing a lot of this coaching as well. It's nice to have that certification behind you on the back end. And going forward, please like, subscribe, comment, and that's really going to help boost getting my information out there to you guys and just helping you build those more sustainable habits going forward. With today's video, what could I possibly have to tell you? How do you build a more sustainable meal prep plan to really accentuate that weight loss that everybody is looking for? How do we achieve that body that we want? And really, it boils down to just a few things. What is the importance of more of these achievable targets? I think number one, and the most important thing, is setting a realistic target. And what exactly is a realistic target? A lot of people just have this thing in the back of their head. I want to look like this, and I want to do it in the next 3 weeks. How do I get there? And then you see people with these wraps around their waist. They're saying, buy this, do this cardio, buy my plan, do this booty program, whatever it is. And just to let you know, 90% of the time, these people are beefing up a little bit of what these things that they're pushing on you to buy actually do. Just set a realistic target for you. Your body, your dream body is not going to happen overnight. Set a realistic goal, like let's lose maybe 5 pounds over the next 3 weeks. Now we've attained that goal over those 3 weeks. Now that we've surpassed this goal, what's our goal for the next 3 months? We've established that we can lose weight over the next 3 weeks. We've lost 5 pounds. How do we continue to make those 5 pounds consistently happen, and what needs to be in place for that to consistently happen? Set those short-term goals that will lead up and build into those longer-term goals. You can't just say, oh, I want a six-pack, I want to look like Margot Robbie because she's out here looking like Miss Barbie. It doesn't happen. Like, Hollywood has a few extra things they can do and help these actors, actresses, as well as your few extremely gifted genetic people like Arnold. There's so much importance in just setting realistic goals for yourself. What is the next point of emphasis? We've established a short-term goal. We have a long-term goal in place. And ultimately, you need to be able to understand and recognize where your body is currently at, what it's capable of doing, and having maybe a coach in place or people around you that can motivate you to continue achieving those goals in regard to what your body is actually capable of doing. Having someone help you put together a more personalized plan to your body, what your genetic output can actually achieve and what you can attain. All of that's going to be extremely important when you're trying to go about really manipulating your day-to-day calorie intake and pulling back some of that weight. Now, what's going to be that kicking point that's going to help us decide and determine where our diet needs to start? A good point of emphasis is going to be finding out what your basal metabolic rate is. Now, with that being said, I don't like to have people rely on this too much. A lot of the tests are going to be extremely inaccurate. And as your body adjusts week to week with whatever meal plan you put in place, you're going to have a little bit more leeway or less leeway depending on the certain foods that you're putting into your body. It's not just this static number. It's a very dynamic number. It's going to consistently change day to day. So don't rely too heavily on that basal metabolic rate. Today, we're going to start this meal plan. I need to eat 2,200 calories a day, and we're going to put a plan together, get my protein in, get my macros or my carbs in, and get my fats in, and hit that 2,200 calories. Now, so we're going to hit those calories. And by hitting those calories, this is going to establish a baseline for us. Yes, that basal metabolic rate helped us establish at least a baseline, but now our baseline over the next 2 to 3 weeks is going to continually either decrease or increase as we see those body changes occurring. With the basal metabolic rate in place, we have our diet in place, we're losing weight, we don't know where to go after these first 2 to 3 weeks. As you continue to be a little bit more consistent in the gym, you're getting your workouts in, and your diet has been consistent, we can kind of gauge from there what the next steps are. Do we need to increase energy output in our workouts? Do we need to change the diet? And personally, I never like to pull food away from clients. I think the best way to go about it is, let's reassess your cardio output. Let's assess how you're training. Are you training properly? Are you hitting your reps properly? And are you doing it with efficiency in the gym? Are you just going into the gym and wasting time? And a lot of that's going to help us determine what those next steps are. Our next point of emphasis, now that everything is in place, do we change up our macronutrients, or do we go with higher energy output? I'd like to kind of dive into really how we're going to change those macros. Why are they important? Touching up slightly on proteins, carbs, and fats. The biggest thing here is we want to put something in place where higher protein is something that's very consistent in your diet. This is going to help you stay more satiated throughout the day. You're not going to have these wants and needs to continually eat or snack. Higher protein intake is always the most optimal, as well as it's going to help with your recovery, help build better muscle, put just better definition in your muscle as you continually lose that weight, and overall help you look better. And then that higher protein intake as well, it's going to boost overall energy output, the way your brain is working. And then when it comes to carbohydrates, everybody wants to do this low carb, let's do keto. I can't emphasize this enough. You need to have carbs in your diet, whether you want to build muscle, lose weight. This is going to be key. But the biggest thing is the carbs that you choose to have in your diet. We don't need to be eating cakes and cookies and crackers and bread. Now, granted, there are times where we can have that in, but the biggest thing is going to be having foods like your rice and your potatoes and your oats in the morning. I know not everyone loves oats, not everyone loves potatoes, as well as it's great to have in your vegetables with every meal. Get those just higher input of minerals into your diet. You're getting your vitamin A, B, C, etc. All of this within your greens that you're eating day to day, as well as people who don't generally like the greens and the vegetables. There are plenty of ways to supplement. Now, although I don't necessarily like to push higher supplementation or over-the-counter supplements, that is a viable option. So don't be saying or walking around and thinking, I can't lose weight because I don't eat vegetables. It's not the case. There are fiber supplements and over-the-counter other supplements that you can use to replace some of those day-to-day essentials that your body really needs, but you still need to be getting in a good complex carb in each of your meals daily. And then when it comes to fats, everyone is going to be different. Some people can really tolerate a high level of excess fat. When I say excess fats, like above 100 grams a day. In most cases, whether you're cutting or bulking, you do not need to be going above 100 grams of fats daily. Typically, your body is going to have a harder time breaking down these fats, and you're just going to end up storing a lot more of that fat on your body. Yes, it's great for recovery, but in moderation. We don't want to overdo those fats. We want high protein, moderate carb, low fat in most cases. Next, we've covered the macros, we've covered exercising, we've gone into, do we need to be focused on this basal metabolic rate the entire time? The biggest thing is staying in a caloric deficit. But how do we make it easier for us to stay consistent with our meals? How appropriate is it to consistently eat at the same times every day? A lot of these factors are extremely important, and some people don't realize how important they can be, as well as just getting great sleep on top of that. Not all of us can go out and pay for somebody to cook all of our meals day to day. And I think this is another reason why having a coach really help you not only set your diet and your training up, but help you understand and go through your schedule week to week to find out points or days where you can actually go in and get all your grocery shopping done, find time to cook that food for the week. Sometimes I find it most beneficial to have just one day where you're able to cook at least 5 days in a row. You get that Monday through Friday done, and then you have another, maybe a Wednesday or a Thursday where you can cook a few extra meals. You get your Saturday and Sunday meals in. And then I like everyone to have at least 1 or 2 cheat meals. And I don't even like to emphasize that it's a cheat meal. It's time for you to break away from this monotonous act of eating the same things every day. But what you're going to learn about your body as we go through putting these better calories and higher quality food in your body, you're not going to enjoy all these foods that you eat with these high sugars. They're just going to make you feel a little bit worse day to day. They're going to make you feel groggy if they don't already make you feel groggy. But meal timing is extremely important. Getting those meals prepped is extremely important. And the ultimate thing is just proving to yourself how dedicated you are to having the body you want, feeling better on a day-to-day basis. And as you get older, we want you here for your kids, for yourself, and to just continue being the best version of you. Improving your health now is always going to be beneficial. But again, meal timing, extremely important. Everyone's going to be different, whether you're eating 3 meals or 5 meals. The time of day at which you eat those meals is extremely important. And I like to emphasize, if you work out extremely hard, you need to have a bit more carbohydrates based around your workout schedule. Those carbohydrates should be eaten, and I prefer to have a higher carbohydrate intake pre-workout, maybe anywhere from 60 to 90 minutes prior to your workout. You set that in place. And when we say nutrient timing, 60 to 90 minutes is perfectly fine. 45 minutes is perfectly fine. It doesn't need to be on the minute, on the second, on the dot every single day, but within that time frame. And then following your workout, you should again have a high protein intake, some carbohydrates, and that's going to help speed up that recovery. And it's okay to have a few fats as well, whether it be avocado, olive oil, something within your food, or a red meat that has more of those fats already ingrained in the content that you're eating. All of those are really going to be beneficial to yourself. Now, one thing I don't think a lot of people fully understand is portion control. Yes, portions are important. Get a scale, weigh out your food, and this is it. It's going to simplify so many things for you. Yes, it's an extra step, but if you really want to lose that weight, make those changes, it's a game changer. You have to do this. Get your scale. I promise you, it's worth it. Next, in your weight loss journey, I can't stress more to you. Drink your water, stay hydrated. I say a minimum of a gallon a day. Personally, I like 1.5 gallons to 2 gallons of water a day. Other fluids are okay as well. If you like soda, just do more of the diet sodas, the zeros, nothing with sugar. Get the 0-calorie drinks. It is perfectly fine to add these in your diet, but 1 gallon of the fluid intake that you have daily should fully be water. Another point of emphasis with that water, that can also help satiate you. If you're starting to get a little hungry, but your meal for that, or your next meal isn't for another few hours, chew gum, drink water. This is going to be absolutely important going forward, and just really helping you stay on track and lose that weight. Only 2 more points of emphasis just to close out our video here. But when you're aiming for weight loss, I think it's almost essential to have some kind of app that you use to track your daily intake. Let's say you stray slightly off plan, you wanted to eat a little different, you don't want to tell your coach, put it in an app like MyFitnessPal. Put in the macros, type it out. At least you know where you're currently sitting at, as well as you can track your hydration through there as well. I know a lot of people don't want to carry that gallon. It's heavy, it's bulky. and you bring it into the office, everyone's like, oh, what's wrong with this guy? I get it. Get a bottle that actually has the markers on the side. This is a 52-ounce water bottle or a 28-ounce water bottle. Fill that bottle up. It's a 28-ounce. You fill that up 5 times. There's your gallon. If you want to continue drinking more, which I guarantee you, once you get into this point of drinking more and more water, it's going to feel like nothing. But get a smaller bottle that measures it out, and get an app that you can continually track your food intake if you do stray off plan or if you stay on plan. It's going to help. It's just going to keep you more motivated, and it almost gamifies things to it in effect. Makes you want to continue getting those macros in. Oh, I didn't hit my carbs today, or oh, I actually went over my protein today. All of those are really going to be fun to see and watch, and see how your body progresses when you do or do not hit your macros or your water intake, or when you do hit your macros and your water intake, and how you actually feel day to day getting in those macros, minerals, etc. And ultimately coming back down, we want to make all of this sustainable. Your short-term and long-term goals should be sustainable. We're not doing this as a one-time thing. This is building habits to continually create a better lifestyle for yourself. We want you to be healthy. We want you to be the best version of you for your friends, your family, your children, etc. And even just be a more dedicated and harder working individual with the society we live in. With that, please, again, comment, like, subscribe. I'm going to be posting more of these weekly. These will be broken down into more detailed sections to continually just educate you, keep you up to date, what you should be doing. Maybe you don't have time for a coach. You don't want to hire a coach. You're like, I can do this for myself. I want you to have access to this information. I want you to be able to skip through these videos, collect the information you need, and ultimately just make yourself the best version of you. And I'll be posting more videos out soon. Thank you. Comment, like, subscribe. Out.